trying to model. So you want to stand out, you know, in the crowd. That can be anything. You can have to maybe dye your hair, change your eyebrows, anything. So what I did was I cut my bangs. Cutting my bangs really changed my life. You know, once I cut my bangs, it took a little while, but before you know it, I was booking 1 job a week, 2 jobs a week, then it was 3, then I was quitting my side job. So it can be anything. Some people have bleached their hair. You know, it's different for everybody. So find your look. Number 2, social media. I know there's people that hate it. I understand. It's annoying. But it has changed the industry. It's allowing people that 10 years ago, you know, would not have been able to get into modeling. Now you can. You know, it's just if you do it correctly. I try to treat my Instagram like an extension of my portfolio. So clients can go on there and see the variety of looks that I can rock, or they can see the work that I have done. You know, try to treat it that way in a professional manner. And also, it's a good way to network with other people in the industry in your area. So you can reach out to photographers about test shooting, or maybe reach out to other models about, you know, getting together and talking about modeling. You know, I think it's a great way to network. You know, I have booked most of my test shoots through Instagram. So it's very important that you reach out to people and say, hey, would you like to collab? That's how you practice modeling. That's how you get better, so that when you do go to these agencies, you can show them what you have to offer, which leads me to point 3, going to open calls. Every agency has an open call 1 day a week. Most do, or maybe you'd have to submit yourself online. A lot of people do that as well. But when you go to these open calls, you know, if you do get denied, which does happen, you can ask for feedback. You know, hey guys, you know, what is it that I need to change? What do you think it is? They'll tell you. You know, they'll have, you know, they'll offer some points like, you know, we feel like you're too commercial, or you don't have enough of this in your book, or we just already have somebody that looks like you. Like, so that means you need to change something. You need to stand out. That's why I think test shooting is so important, because that's how you can practice. And that's why I think that it's very important that you get these 3 different shoots in your book. 1 is a studio shoot. That's very simple, minimal styling, just so they can see the raw you. 2 is a shoot outside on location somewhere, you know, very lifestyle. And 3 is portraits. Everybody needs portraits so that they can see your face, okay? And take these photos with you to the agencies. Maybe the first round, you'll get denied. It happens. I got denied a few times, but that's fine. Go back, regroup, make the changes, do something different. If something isn't working, switch it up, you know, and then go back. And you might get lucky the next time around. If it never happens, that's why I'm saying sometimes you need to work on your social media, because then that way you'll be more seen and more known. Everybody's situation is different. You know, I know people that just popped off from modeling because of Instagram. They didn't even get signed to an agency until after they were already popping on Instagram, you know. Or you go to the agency first and then they help you work your way up. So everybody's different, you know. So you just need to find your niche and try all these things that I'm telling you. And then hopefully things will start to change for you, you know. But if things are not working, then it's time to switch it up. One thing I want to say is modeling is a lifestyle. You need to make that your priority if you want to succeed, because, you know, like, you got to look good, you got to eat good, you got to feel good, you know. You want to be positive, because if not, it can really, really bring you down. You know, getting rejected a lot really is not good for you. But you got to stay strong mentally, because it's not personal. It's just agents see people all the time, and, you know, they're just used to just being like, no, yes, no, yes. So don't take it so personal. And keep trying, keep pushing. If this is your dream, don't let anybody kill it for you. Just keep going, you know. And so these are the tips I have to offer. If you have any questions or
in the beginning when you're first learning your job. And I think it's probably good things for parents to know too, because when you're 14, 15 years old, the person that's looking out for you, your protector, is your parent. So anything you want to do or pursue, they're going to be there with you. I really think that when you're in your hometown, the biggest mistake you make is that someone is going to come and discover you and rescue you, and you're going to be a top model and you're going to make $1 million tomorrow. That is never going to happen. It is a job, it's a career, it's a business. You're selling something, you're using what you've been given to sell something to someone else. In order to do that, you have to be good in front of the camera. You have to be good with people. You have to be fearless when you're taking pictures. You have to be willing to do anything. If a photographer asks you to jump off of a rock into the sand, you have to do it and make it look good. You have to be aware of your surroundings. Your job is to create a great picture. You're part of a team. You are not the team. So I think that models have kind of a misconception, you know, of what the job is and how hard the job is. I think that most of the time they think that it's really you know, you're pretty and you show up and they put some makeup on you and you take pretty pictures of yourself, and it's a really hard job depending upon who the client is and what you're shooting, and who the photographer is. There's a lot of personalities on a set. You're walking in, you're working with different people almost every day, and until you have established yourself, they're all going to be strangers. So it's not like you go to the same comfortable environment every day. It's not a regular job. You are sometimes living out of a suitcase. You might have just flown there. There's a lot of uncomfortable feelings that it's a lonely job. I think that people don't realize how lonely it can be. But if you are, let's say you're the only girl on a set, there's a white wall behind you. There is nothing else. There's you and what you're wearing and what you're trying to convey in a picture, and they say, okay, do something. You know, they're not going to tell you always how to do every specific thing. Photographers are going to give you direction, but at some point you have to prove yourself. No one's going to pay you to do something if you don't do it well. I think that learning that there is something to do and that you have to go beyond your looks, and that your personality matters. And nowadays we're in a time where you have to be able to actually speak. Like, it's not a mystery. You can't hide behind what you do anymore. You have to be able to communicate with people. Brands want models to talk. So I think that a lot goes into it. I want to be a model. I want to work for Vogue magazine. I want to work for Harper's Bazaar. I want to walk for Dior in Paris. I want to do all the. If you want to do all of those things, then you have to be competitive in order to do it. There is nothing that special about you until you are in demand and you know how to model for everybody. You know, and you're the one between your agents and yourself of actually doing the work. You're the one who creates that demand. That's what makes, you know, Amber Valletta, Linda Evangelista, Stella Tennant, Carolyn Murphy, all those girls, they worked for it. You know, it wasn't easy, and they became established because they figured out what their niche was, what they were good at, and they worked with people who wanted to work with them again. So it's not just I worked for Steven Meisel one time, it's that I work with Steven Meisel all the time. That's what makes a superstar, that's what makes a great model, and that's the part that takes just a lot of really hard work.